Ramuji, this film and in fact a string of other films have kind of shaken our belief in what we thought was Bollywood. Bollywood back in the day when I first met you was, for me, it was pin code 40050 to 40053, which is Bandra to Andheri West, right? And now what you're seeing is directors coming out of that people hadn't heard of, like Nelson Dilip Kumar, Sandeep Reddy Vanga. They're coming from south of the Vindhyas increasingly, and the biggest films, Rajamouli for instance, they're all coming from the south. So in a sense, are we looking at the birth of a new kind of cinema in India which transcends boundaries, states, cities?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to believe that it pretty much started, maybe if you take Bahubali as the beginning and KGF kind of solidified it. But I would still like to believe, see, the point is everyone in South makes only those kind of films and not all of them work.
Right.
If you take, there is about 150 films being made in each language, in Telugu and Tamil and Kannada and Malayalam. What reached the so-called pan-India, working in Hindi, they would be hardly a handful at the end of the day, in years, I'm saying. I don't think more than 1 or 2 films come in a year from there. And then, apart from that, now you are talking about the directors who are from the South, because they've always been doing that. That's what I told.
Right.
I don't know if a single Hindi film director in today's times, I'm not talking yesteryear times, who kind of believed in this so-called hero, masala, or this kind of catering to the front benchers and not having logic and just to create constant cinematic highs. That kind of a template is something which no one really had the conviction in Bombay, because all of them, either they are in South Bombay, they're educated and they've come from America and they don't even know what the masses are.
Right.
Interestingly, if you look at it, most of the directors in South, they're very uneducated people. That's a very interesting thing. That could be the reason they're so rooted and they know exactly what the man on the road feels, because they actually feel it. So they are not so much well versed into English films and this, and that is the reason I think they understand the pulse of the masses probably more than educated guys who came and who grew up on films from Hollywood films and something like that.
Right.
But even after all this, I would still think Sandeep is again completely aside from it. He's not like one more of the South directors, not at all. Right. So I would just want to repeat it once again. All the directors, what you mentioned from the South, they are as shocked as anybody with Sandeep Vanga's Animal.
Okay. Many years ago, Anurag Kashyap, who's another person who's very rooted in the ground. He comes from, North India and a small town in North India. He told me that, my mentor is Ram Gopal Varma. A bit like Eklavya though, from a distance. But I couldn't help but notice this bromance that you've had with Sandeep Reddy on X, formerly Twitter. So who's the heir to Ram Gopal Varma's cinema, the Ram Gopal Varma formula of filmmaking? Is it Anurag Kashyap or Sandeep Vanga?
I would think Anurag is more closer to Sandeep, in terms of probably, I would like to believe, to say it in a cliche, I think Sandeep is a highly commercial version of Anurag Kashyap, I would think, because the darkness of the film, the darkness of the characters, and very in the face kind of trying to, which is something I've never done actually, So I would like to believe, I don't want the hair is first of all a very wrong example, because like I already said, I always followed a template. There's nothing original I did. I just mixed Ardha Satyas and maybe Kali Yuga of Shyam Benegal, also with some mainstream films of Amitabh
Godfather.
Bachchan. That is what I have done. There's nothing original or new what I've done. But I think Animal is completely original in every which way. I might have issues because that is what the whole point is. I might have issues on my sensibility of what I think a film should be.
Right.
But the truly original film ever came from Indian cinema, I believe, is Animal, which is not what I made any of them. All of them were just a a kind of a slightly hybrid versions of what already has been working on a template level.
Right. Ramuji, I don't know of any other director in the industry, in any industry, would be as modest as that, as you have been.
And that is the truth. I don't think I'm being modest, and I'm also proving it by giving examples to you.
Absolutely.
I know exactly from where I took each film of mine. So there's nothing original
but
in what I did. Yeah.
Coming back to Animal, I mean, I detected a lot of Godfather in that. There's a lot of Scarface in that. And like you've pointed out yourself, he's made Sonny the hero, and Michael, is a lesser character than that. So Godfather continues to be...
That for me is a very interesting point. I remember, when you're reading a book or when you're actually watching a film, you kind of take the characters the way they're given to us and how much of them are being shown in the length of the role and their importance to the story. So many of those factors will make you kind of help you make a final decision. Now, I remember a line in Godfather, in a chapter when he describes a character called Luca Brasi. He says, from 1935 to 1937, the name of Santino Corleone sent shockwaves through the underworld. But even he, in sheer terror, reckless was an awesome man called Luca Brasi. Now the line, if you take from 1931, the name of Santino sent shockwaves through the underworld, that kind of a description was never there in Francis Coppola's Godfather.
Right.
But and the Don was always scared of his elder son. He was just very scared of how he's going to deal. And when his father, there's an attack on Don Corleone, the way Sonny just wants to go all out and kill all the 5 families immediately, that reminds me of Ram Vijay in this film, in Animal.
Right.
Now when I asked Sandeep, did you read the novel Godfather? He said, I didn't read a single book in my life. So that is fine. I mean, I am not saying that he's lying or anything, but the point is, the whole point of why Godfather resonates so much, it happens everywhere. It is like in every family, in every village, in every town, all over the world, which is the reason it had that kind of a resonance. And the point of Scarface, what you mentioned, which is also true, because it is like you are taking Tony Montana from Scarface, and you either made him Michael Corleone, or you threw Michael Corleone out into the trash bin and made Sonny Corleone the protagonist. You can look at it both these ways. Yeah.
No, in fact, that one scene that struck me when I saw the film was that you have this thing when Al Pacino comes out, all guns blazing, So there he has an underbarrel, in Scarface.
Yes.
In fact, Tony Montana.
Cartoon,
Here you have a humongous rotary cannon.
It is shot. Also, it resembles it. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So in this one, you have this. Yes.
One more thing I'll tell you. When Connie Corleone suspects that Michael was behind her husband's death, she accuses him, and he doesn't say anything. He doesn't accept the fact, and he tells he doesn't tell his wife also whether he did it or not. Here, the fact, he comes and tells her that I killed your husband. And after she beats him up, and he says that your problem was you shouldn't have married him in the first place. That was a very, very new take on the Godfather scene, And so, I mean, there is no such thing as it has to be like this or not. It is eventually what your interpretation, what Sandeep believes what a character will do, which is what the difference in various films and various stories.
Right, and it's a case of great minds all thinking alike. But Ramuji, what about Ram Gopal Varma, the filmmaker? I've seen this trailer for your film Vyuham that's coming out. It's on Jagan Mohan Reddy, interestingly. And there have been reports that this is your last film. Is this a fact, or are you...
No. That is my last political film. Because I made quite a few political films in terms of biopics of leaders. So I just said that in some context. And also said that political films have a tendency to work just before the elections,
Right.
And the fact that elections are again 5 years away, so I'll be doing other films, not political. That is what I said actually in that context.
Right.
News9 Plus. Download now.